Hey everyone, Scott from Airgunner Review. So today we are going to go head to head with the least expensive, coming in at about $104, the Beeman BP50. This is a 50 caliber launcher, and we are going to put it against the Byrna CL, which is the most expensive launcher, coming in at $550. We're going to compare them. Is it apples to apples? No, obviously it's not. We have a 50 caliber versus a 60 caliber, but there are no other 60 calibers to even compare it to. So I wanted to do just a quick comparison between these two. And we're going to start right off with the color. As you can see, one is very bright orangey, and to look at it, it looks like it's fairly cheap, but I assure you it is not. The build quality is really good on it. And of course, the Byrna CL. The Byrna CL, as far as I'm concerned, I think looks nicer. It has a much nicer form factor. It's more minimalist, I would say, without having all the grooves in it. The sights are very nice. They are raised a little bit more than you will find on the BP50, but the BP50 does have fairly good sights on there. Yeah, I'm not complaining about them at all. As far as the quality of the material, they both have very good quality material. And the drop-down design of the magazine is really good with the Byrna, as you would expect. But with the BP50, as other people have pointed out, this is very cheap, actually, I would say. It's very chintzy. This follower is very chintzy, and I'm afraid that at some point it's going to break. Now, I hear from Craig from East Coast Less Lethal. You check out his channel, because I believe he's going to be enhancing this as he has with so many different markers. Another noteworthy about this, as Sean from Less Lethal for Dummies has put out, this is a miniature Pastel X68. I call it mini-me of it, based on some of the internal parts on it. It's got the same back cap as the Pastel X68, as you can see on here. So that is a plus. It also, I believe you're going to see, it's going to have quite a bit of power, but we're going to see exactly what it is right in a few minutes, actually. Now, putting this together, I want to weigh these, because there is a big weight difference and size difference. I mean, this is still a much smaller, the Byrna CL is still much smaller. And you can see that in the handle right here. You've got at least a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and then you've got your puncture cap. And on this side here, you probably have another ½ inch here. And surprisingly, for being a 60 caliber, it is still thinner than the 50 caliber. And I think that's due to the internals being completely different type of internals. So getting on to some weight. So the Byrna CL, that comes in at 12 ounces, just a little over 12 ounces. But this guy, and there is nothing in it. There's no CO2. These are completely dry, nothing in them. And let's see what we have here. We have 1 pound 5 ounces. So the big difference in weight still goes to the Byrna. Still, the Byrna CL is much more compact. And of course, we know that the Byrna CL has the pierce and shoot technology, which, if you're rushed, if you know, that is going to be the best system for you. You can put 5 in the actual cartridge, and you can put 1 top load. We don't recommend that for practice, but for carrying it, you can get 6 out of this. Now, this can hold 8. This magazine can hold 8, which is pretty spectacular. However, you have to pierce this before you can shoot it, which is going to take a little extra time. Just be aware of that. Now, I'm not trying to convince you either way to go. I'm just pointing out the facts to you. All right, so that is that. We are going to move on to something I should have covered before, is the packaging. And of course, the packaging is, you know, what you would expect for a low price launcher. Anyhow, that's that. And of course, with the Byrna Byrna always comes in with the nice packaging, and that's what you would expect for a price tag of $550, to be honest with you. The next up here, we are going to weigh some of the ammo on this, and I've got two different type of projectiles that I'm going to be shooting in this. And let me just get this on here. The first one I picked up on Amazon. I've had these for a while. These are PVC coated with a steel ball inside of them. These are quite heavy, weighing in at 3.51. And let's check this one. And again, 3.51 grams. I've measured these several times and they all come out about the same. So that's going to be the first one we're going to compare it to. And we're comparing to the Byrna 60, and it is 2.11 grams for the 60 caliber. And then after that, we are going to also use these aluminum balls, and these fit a little bit better. These are the Alien Play that we've talked about before, and these come in at 2.72. So there are what we are up against. So quality build, I think the quality build on the BP50 is really good, with the exception of the magazine being pretty terrible, kind of a toyish, but all the quality, Byrna, between the magazine and everything, is very good. Also, Pierce and Shoot is awesome, and that you can conceal carry it by far much easier. But having said all that, what's going to matter is the power. Let's take these out and let's see what kind of power we get out of these. Okay, here we go. Now, another thing I didn't mention, this of course takes the 8 gram CO2 versus the Beeman that takes the 12 gram CO2. I am going to pre-pierce this by putting my finger behind here, but I'm still going to point it in a safe direction. And there we go. It's pierced. It's ready to fire. Let's see what we get out of it for power. Trusty, here we go. $308, shot number 1. $334, shot number 2. $286, shot number 3. $282, shot number 4. $282 again. Shot. Now we're going to head over to the Beeman. Now the Beeman is going to be a little bit different. It is very loud, and I think hearing protection is always a good idea. Should have probably even had it on for that, but this is definitely really loud, and I don't want to damage my ears any more than I already have. So let's put a little ear protection on with it. Definitely not backyard friendly here. Hold on one second. Before I do that, I just want to bump this and make sure. Yes, okay, I heard it. No leaks, that's good. Now we're going to put some hearing protection on. Let's see what we get. Helps if I have that. $314. $306. $300. Pretty consistent. $294. 290. I'm not too sure how many more we have. If we have any more. Back out here, we have the aluminum balls in the BP50 this time. Should be giving us a little bit of extra power, I believe. And a lot of people have asked me about a holster. The holster that I use is the Scorpion Tactical. It's an all leather. I've got it on me right now. It does fit pretty good right here. And the beauty of this is it has the cant, and hopefully you can strike it. Yeah, maybe it doesn't work. No, it doesn't quite work like the other one. Okay, now it is. Again, it's my shoulder. I had shoulder surgery, so it doesn't quite. With the Pastel X68, I can hit it once and it will charge it. So it is charged right now, but it took me a little bit. But anyway, it does fit very well. But also, it's like a universal. This is the Byrna LE. It fits the Byrna LE in here just fine, just like that. And it will fit the Byrna SD just fine without any. I think you can take the tracer, I think, in here. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Anyhow, fits that just fine. This is the SD and the Pastel X68. I will leave you a link below for the aluminum alien balls on Amazon and the tactical Scorpion Tactical. It does seal fairly well. This is an awfully big launcher. This one I can bop it like this, and it every time. Except, you know, I did have shoulder surgery, so my shoulder is a little weak. Anyhow, that's that. But without further ado, let's get some numbers using the aluminum balls. Let me put you back up here a little bit more, please. Is that pretty good? I think that's pretty good. Okay. All right. We are punctured. And here we go. Let's see what kind of power we have with the aluminum balls. And let's put some ear protection on. Okay. Now let's see what we got. $390. That is pretty darn good. $374. $368. I don't think anything. Oh yeah, $362. $358. $348. And we're out. All right, so those are pretty darn good numbers. A couple of things to talk about. The Byrna CL, especially, as you can see, it is pretty underpowered, especially when they are claiming it to be 400 feet per second. This one doesn't have that type of power at all, as you saw, although it is lower than I usually get. I usually get around 360, 340, so this was unusually low, but it is what it is. You know, at any given time, if you're in an emergency and you need to use it, you can't dictate that. So, yeah, so that's what that is. I would use this as a chemical launcher. That's the beauty of a 60 caliber. I think 60 caliber gives you enough fill in there that you're going to do some damage, you know, with the max rounds. 50 caliber is undetermined to me if you're getting enough chemicals in there to bother with. Hard to say. Anyhow, that's all I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you guys liking and subscribing. And as always, I want to hear your comments about this. I want to know what you guys think of the highest that you were possibly going to pay for a launcher other than possibly the Grimberg Gavel. And then the lowest, I think this is coming in pretty darn low. I don't know if there's a launcher that's much lower than that, but it's right on the borderline of the lowest price launcher that there is. Thank you guys, and I look forward to your comments, and I'll catch you next one.